Hi, I'm Gloria Keith with Action Speaks, and today I'm going to introduce some history, research, and study of my book, Every Child Born Gifted. And I will read some of the history from the research and study that I've done that leads up or will as a confirmation of truth of Action Speaks, Every Child Born Gifted. We'll start with the definition, or a definition, of intellectual giftedness. Intellectual giftedness is an intellectual ability significantly higher than average. It is different from a skill in that skills are learned or acquired behavior. Like a talent, intellectual giftedness is usually believed to be an innate personal aptitude for intellectual activities that cannot be acquired through personal effort. Various ideas about the definition, development, and best ways of identifying intellectual giftedness have been put forward. Intellectual giftedness may be general or specific. For example, an intellectually gifted person may have a striking talent for mathematics, but not have equally strong language skills. A brief history. At the turn of the 20th century, advances in education and psychology brought empirical and scientific credibility to the field of gifted education. The early studies of giftedness in the 1920s and 30s evolved from research on mental inheritance, subnormal children, construction of instruments to measure both the sub and supernormal, and the realization that graded schools could not adequately meet the needs of all children. Pioneers such as Lewis Terman and Leonard Hollingsworth spearheaded the movement and conducted some of the first widely published research studies on gifted children. The field of gifted education continued to evolve mainly in response to the changing needs of the country, especially after the Soviet Union's launch of Sputnik in the late 1950s. Further legislative efforts by the federal government in the early 1970s brought the plight of gifted school children back into the spotlight. The definition of giftedness also expanded along with programming options now available for gifted students. Toward the close of the 20th century, federal monies from the Jacob Javits Gifted and Talented Student Education Act funded such entities as the National Research Center on the Gifted and Talented, and provided grant monies for gifted research and programming. A Nation at Risk, 1983, and National Excellence, A Case for Developing America's Talent, 1993, reports issued by the federal government highlighted the missed opportunities to identify and serve gifted students nationally. In turn, a call was made for additional research and programming in the field of gifted education. The issuance of national standards by the National Association for Gifted Children also helped solidify the field's intent and provide school districts across the country with a set of programming criteria. Published in 2004, A Nation Deceived reported on the advantages of acceleration for gifted children, which illustrated America's inability to properly meet the needs of its most able students, despite the overwhelming research supporting acceleration. In the book, Every Child Born Gifted, we deal with particularly gifted children underserved, or the underserved gifted children. So most of the research and study that's done is done up to this date on gifted children, black and others alike. Thank you for listening to this portion of the research and study on Every Child Born Gifted, and hope you will tune in again in our next session on Every Child Born Gifted. Action Speaks, Gloria Keith. Thank you.